Hello my friends, Dan Flynn here, John Caveney, part of Rediscover North America crew, bringing you an exclusive canoe and kayak update. We are here in Yellowknife, standing in front of the Explorers Hotel. This is our last resupply. Last time we talked to you, we were in Buffalo Narrows.
We left Buffalo Narrows after celebrating the 4th of July and got back onto Peter Pond Lake. And after a couple hours of paddling out of town, we were met with some wonderful winds, and we were windblown for a couple days on Peter Pond. So after sitting in Buffalo Narrows and resupplying and then having to sit on Peter Pond, we were ready to get back on the water. And all that rest was good because we had a nice little challenge paddling up the Lalache River. Started out, we thought it'd be about 25 miles, and it turned out to be about a 40-mile day upstream to get to Lac Lalache. And we paddled into a campsite on Lac Lalache at about 2 in the morning, and after about 14 hours on the water. It was one of our longest days, and it was pretty cool to finish that long day. We slept until noon the next day, and the wind switched in our favor. We were able to shoot right across the lake with our wind paddle sails and arrive to where we were going to portage 12 miles on the Methe Portage.
That next day we geared up for the Methe Portage and we took off with packs and boats all in one. The first 6 miles we made it all in one trip, and then from there we took 2 trips because we were feeling the burn.
We're about somewhere in here, right around in this area. It's probably like 2 miles from the lake, around 6 miles in, 3 hours. Not easy though, not easy at all. A little sore.
Right here, right here.
Made it! Check it out, there it is, boom! Clear water.
It was a celebration getting to the Clearwater River, going downstream. The first day we portaged around White Mud Rapids, or White Mud Falls, actually a big waterfall, and had a day of whitewater paddling, which was awesome. Going downstream in the Clearwater was great, and that brought us into Fort McMurray for a resupply that Steve and Patty had dropped off.
So we spent a couple days in Fort McMurray. From there we went on to the Athabasca River. It was amazing. Our rate of travel increased to 5-6 miles an hour, sometimes more. It was pretty cool to get some 50+ mile days on the Athabasca River, and we had some surprises too.
Yeah, it was definitely cool to be cruising at that rate of speed. You'd see 60-mile days and you'd be like, hey, these miles are a lot easier when you're going downstream. And a big treat was right at the end of one of the days, we pulled up to the side of the river. Adam's boat was first, and they saw some guys up at a cabin and they waved us in, and we met old Crazy George and his worker and friend Ant, and they took us in for the evening, told us a lot of stories of the bush, fed us a little brat dinner and a bunch of snacks, and it was a good little surprise in the middle of the Athabasca River. And a couple days after seeing him, we were able to get to Lake Athabasca, a short crossing there over to Fort Chip, and the community of Fort Chip was great to us. We came into town, we were met by people right away on the beach. They told us to go check out the museum, and it was very cool to see the history of Fort Chip. And right after Fort Chip, we spent an afternoon there, got back on the last little section of Lake Athabasca and paddled onto the Slave River.
Slave River was a lot of fun. There's a section in there where there's some pretty extreme whitewater, so we spent a day or two with these wonderful people we met in Fort Smith, Jen and John, and they took us rafting on the Cassette Rapids. And that was a lot of fun. I didn't expect to be doing something like that on this trip. And we said goodbye to them and paddled on the Great Slave.
Great Slave Lake was incredible. We once again had wind in the morning right as we entered the lake, so we spent the afternoon resting up and planned on a night paddle. And from the time we started, you could tell it was going to be an incredible night. The lake turned into glass for us, the sun set and sun rose, and it never really got dark. And during that happening, we were also seeing northern lights and stars, and the glass water was just shining. So a beautiful weather window, and one of the most memorable night paddles I've ever had. It was pretty incredible entering Great Slave Lake and the Simpson Islands.
It was incredible, John. After that night, we spent a couple days of some sleep during the day, some sleep during the night, just enough to make it all the way to Yellowknife, where we are now, and make our last resupply.
It's crazy to think this is our final one as we're packing our food up and making our phone calls. We will be finishing hopefully around the beginning of September up in Kugluktuk, Nunavut. And we just want to say thank you so much to all our family and friends. Thank you to our new friends we've met here in Yellowknife, the Explorer Hotel for putting us up. Also going to go have some burgers at
Coyote tomorrow.
The
We've heard
Coyote.
their monster burgers.
Coyote
so I'm pretty
Grill.
excited for that.
Monster Burgers, so we're excited
We've
for
worked up
them.
quite an appetite.
But we've had great reception here in Yellowknife on our last stop. So we want to thank all our new friends here. We want to thank our families at home, our friends at home, everyone at Canoe and Kayak for following along and continuing to put our posts up. We appreciate it.
Keep checking us out, rediscoverna.com. We'll see you all in the Arctic Ocean. Love you, Mary.